I am Sandalphon, the 23rd elder on the council of the 24 elders. I'm son of Haniel, grandson of Raziel I, who is the heavenly one, the most high Anu. We bring you the truth, not religion. Religion was made by men and their overlords, evil reptilians who seek to rule over you. I have come to bring the final verdict. There have been petitions pleading that we rid your planet of these parasites. We now have to respond. It is the only way to save your planet. I have come to bring the final ultimatum. To the evil ones, I had patience with you to amend your ways, but you never changed. The time has run out. Now this is the day of accountability. The day of judgment. Your days are ended for you to cause discord and violence. You will all be wiped out of the history of this planet. You can run and hide, no matter what, we will find each and every one of you. And now I will open the first seal. My grandfather has given me the power. I have been giving my crown. I will now go forth conquering, and to conquer the evil ones of this planet. I will send my horsemen out to do their bid. It is time for the big payback, for the good souls you have slain for the word of my grandfather who is Anu, the heavenly one. I have heard your cries asking me how long, till I judge and avenge your blood on the evil ones that dwell on the earth. I say to you, the time has come. I have given you all a white robe, which is the truth that free you and protects your mind from falsehood. You shall rest for a little while, until we collect the rest of your brothers and sisters. For the time shall be fulfilled. There will be an eclipse, which is a sign of me opening the sixth seal. After this, I shall cause a great earthquake and then a meteor's shower to strike the earth. I will cause the stars of heaven to be blocked out. I will cause tectonic plates to shift. The kings, rich men, mighty men, and leaders of your world, who have sold you out, they shall go to their hiding spots which they have made underground and under the mountains. They will try to hide themselves from the face of my grandfather Anu, my cousin who is Michael, he is also called Murdoch and Yanan. They will try to hide from the judgment which we have decreed on them. For the great day of our wrath is come, and who shall be able to stand? This will be short and sweet for us to incarcerate you away from earth altogether. It is a day of rejoicing for Ki, Mother Earth, Mother Nature. It is the day of freedom for all the people you have subdued by your evil powers used upon them. You will now pay off your debts until you have paid for all the crimes you have committed to your fellow travelers on planet Earth. I'm here to take care of your minions who have refused to repent, as well. You will render an account of your stewardship. Run all you might. Where will you hide that you will not be found? You have yet to repent. The cleanup time is going to be very short indeed. My patience, my offers, my trust have reached the end. To the Luciferians, your continued attempt at economic, biological, military, and nuclear perfidy upon your own citizens as well as the citizens of other sovereign countries and indeed the planet itself is ended. There have been years of meetings and very empty promises, and no progress on agreements made. I have a timetable of which you are a very small part. Your timetable for your plans is hereby negated. You are off the stage. Scramble though they may, your minions will not be able to hide your dislocation. And they will be next. I cannot say it more simply or more strongly, time's up. You have made us real mad. The wrath is already on its way down. There were more meetings with the Luciferians this last weekend, more of their plans being made. These plans were brought to light and thrown in their faces. To say the Luciferians were stubborn would be putting it mildly. This is the final notice of eviction. It has already started this very day, May 1st, 2022, and will continue enough days till these people are no longer a cancer upon the well-being of Mother Earth. It may take some days to become visible, depending on the ability of the media to cover up. This, I assure you, will not be very good, and will soon be overwhelmed in any case. There are many misalignments that are still occurring that we hope to straighten and correct as a means of preparing Mother Earth, Ki, to move into the next phase of her ascension and evolution to the fifth dimension. Much is centering on the political shenanigans of the few and the relentlessly hopeless. They haven't a clue that they will be taken out of the picture and removed from their present situation. Their obstinacies and their paucity of caring about their fellow man have consigned them to a fate they have never imagined in their wildest dreams of failure. They will be taken to another world, low fourth dimension, which they call hell. A situation that is forlorn and lacking in everything they think now they must have. This will be a shock to them and a revelation at some point in their continued process of working through their third-dimensional existence. This will happen soon. We are preparing a message to announce our coming and our intentions. The welcome mat has not been laid before us, and we will enter the field as if we were taking over. This is an unfortunate situation we find ourselves in, because we wanted to create the impression of much great light and love for all mankind. Our plans have been stymied and our intentions have been frustrated. We will make the best of an uncomfortable situation, however. This shift in thinking that is going on in the world will be a tide of good feelings sweeping over all who are dissatisfied at some level. This will engender the beginning of a unified perspective that will allow our plans and mandates to go forward with relative ease and rapidity. The role you will play in this is one of strength for your fellow men and a voice of new reflections on the current situation you find yourselves in. Your role and ability as an oracle will be of utmost importance as we attempt to teach and instruct many who will still be unable to understand our communications to them. Your ability to hear us will be invaluable for a time to come. This ability to understand will place you in the enviable position of being a liaison for us and many of our family. Many will wish they had your facility. It is up to you to begin teaching them how you develop this practice. I know these things because I am unified with your thoughts and intentions. Let me steer you in the direction you should go for the most practical benefits. Yanan told me that it's my turn. I am now on the stage. I am always on the stage for my beloved family. So where do we go now? I say, enough is finally enough. I am a loving being, beloveds, and to uncreate one of our creations is not a pleasant chore for me. I am so very patient, and thought it best to let the Lucifer's rebellion run its course, as evil always drowns itself eventually. So many of you joined with me and came to the rescue. I am in continual joy over this. But we were not successful in converting all of the dark back to the light, and it is with great sadness that I must now do some uncreation of mine own. It was hard with Lucifer. In his choosing his own uncreation, rather than taking the necessary rehabilitation journey for his missteps, it was like he was going to have the final say, one way or the other. He was amongst our brightest, beloved, and he won the post of Lord of the low fourth dimension, because we thought he saw the vision of the system in the universe, of the system in all. Lucifer saw our vision of allowing extensive free will, but something corrupted his idea of it, and in this he decided he would totally run his own show without the assistance of the higher structures in place. We do allow exemplary free will that many other universes have not allowed. Our thinking in this was to produce the best of the best, for those future universes to come, forming in outer space. As I have said before, in case some readers missed it, you are the creator beings that come from them. So where do we go today? It has been discussed the possibility of just lifting you all off, and sending you back home, and allowing the planet at least a pole reversal to cleanse it. Yes, this is not your home. Most of you are here from other star systems and galaxies for school and training. This would produce a lot of reseeding efforts to be done, more than currently needed, because much destruction of life would come as a result. We did this before, during the dinosaur age. We have reseeded the planet twice from rollovers in the past. Now we are holding the four winds. There is 4 huge ships around your planet right now as we speak. If we were to pull away my support at this time, the planet would correct herself starting in a couple of weeks, and it would be massive. We have given more than enough time now, for those that are resistant to the ways of heaven, to change their minds. The time draws near for continuing catastrophic changes. We can't hold the planet this way forever. The pollution is horrendous. The people for the most part are still ignorant of the processes of true evolution. It is for a planetary people to solve their problems, from within, and this is not occurring. The dark side has been quite successful in their programs with religion and politics in preventing people from standing in their shoes. America, the shining light, is in many ways, the most behind of all the countries in the world. Religion is much to blame for this. Even New Age has been infected. There are so many who will not look at the ugly parts of this planet and do something about it, assuming instead that positive thoughts are totally enough, and lots of prayers will work. Many of you continue to want your form of the rapture, liftoff, and having us solve all your problems. We have determined there shall be no liftoff yet. We still want our future gods to grow some more. We will not walk away, and we ask that you come further into service and don't walk away either. Service is in the doing, beloveds. You must do. Being is supposed to be a term of action, not of rest. Being is doing. Together, we will do. The game plan hasn't changed, with the exception that the dark beings are truly going to begin leaving the planet in great numbers now. For the most part, they are going to have heart attacks. Some will be killed by injections, and some by the helpers of my Uncle Inky, also called Israel the Anunnaki of death. We are still awaiting the choices of a few, because we think when they see the evidence in front of them, they will awaken. We know which ones will not, and they shall be gone, their place not found anymore. Like I said, there is going to be an earthquake in California. This earthquake will be like never before. This will change the world. Our children, please leave out of California before August 2022. There is going to be quake activities continuing in the various areas around the world that have depleted oil beds. The resettling of surface plates will happen, is happening. There is going to be massive population loss over about the next 3 years. The planet vibration have to speed up, but 6 billion people out of the 7 billion are too slow in their vibration and are holding the planet back. We had hoped that these people would speed up, but they are behind. We only need 500 million to 1.5 billion people for Earth to make the shift to the 5th dimension. This is because this is a seed planet. It must have its wildlife, the growing of new souls on the majority of the planet. Man was meant to be the caretaker of this planet, and beings who are not supposed to be here came through the vortex. The purpose of man is to provide the vehicles through which the wild population graduates into. Man is supposed to evolve into living souls, but their desires made the regressed backward. And on this seed planet, it is possible for several species to attain human-level intelligence. The species most likely, under ultimate conditions to do that on Mother Earth, besides the human form you know. Most animals on this planet do not receive thought adjusters until they have their first human life, and sometimes several human lives. We are seeing increasingly many monkeys, dolphins, and some felines obtaining this while still in their animal bodies. This occurs when an animal, or a human, becomes self-determinate and develops will. We were expecting the life on your planet to become self-determinant. One day say in this I am, and their eternal journey is reborn. It changes its direction. They have been for so long, learning the lessons of survival and existence, largely in some ways out of their control, other than to move on. But one day, a being, regardless of the body type, says, I am. I exist, I control what I become, I run my journey, and sadly, half of the population in human bodies on this planet does not do that very often while in life. These are the robotoids, the downgraded human DNA that the dark put upon the planet to arrest the process of evolution and keep themselves some slaves. These folks are totally new souls. They don't have the memory of being higher dimensional beings, because they have not been so. Those who came down can go back up. It is much the same as a clone. They do on occasion get thought adjusters, around 10% of them. Otherwise they return to a special and abnormal group souls and try again, over and over. Many have to be uncreated because they have no concept of the all and do the bid of the beast. This will be changed, but that is a topic for another discussion at this point. This is a huge loss to the creation scheme, a great saddening for all to watch. Alright, time to return to the original topic here, the game plan. We stay the course, with the exception that many dark are going to be leaving the planet, very rapidly now. Some will be taken, others will pass because of the vibrations, because the sun is heating up. I had hoped the dark beings would pick up on the event of October 17, 2012 and November 7, 2021, but this did not happen. A quick note about October 17. Beloveds, October 17 was the day that you were awaiting in 2012. The calendars are off, for a variety reasons. When the Maya wrote that calendar, it was based on the known cycles of that time, and time has changed. One of the first things to do, regarding time, is to change your calendars, because Earth now has a 360 days in a year. This is why your seasons are coming early, in addition to the changing of the tilting back to its original position. As you see in this, the date supposed for 2012 is but a date. It is not Ascension Day. Ascension occurs not on a date, but rather when the planet makes that step. Ascension Day is when the Earth moves into monopolarity, the fifth dimension. There is not a predictive date of this. When Earth and her inhabitants make the desirable changes, and move into unity consciousness, Earth will ascend. That remains the goal. We are not doing a lift-off yet, so that goal will be attained. To do a lift-off and recede the planet would delay that goal. Ascension Day, when it comes, will be marked by the installation of the crystal city in the sky. This is the advent of the all-beloved, the advent of enough all-consciousness on the earth plane to move into this higher state. It does not come, until it comes. This is behind the story that only my grandfather, Anu, knows. This is the true second coming, the advent of the all, when a planet enters in the hallowed stages of light and life. My coming here now is an event, to jumpstart the process and wake people up, but we have a lot still ahead. Our patience has worn off, however. I am greatly saddened, almost depressed of this final state of unrelenting resistance to growing up. There are many I had sincerely hoped would turn around. As said above, the planet comes first. She shall not be lost. She shall not be destroyed by the pollution, both to her life, atmosphere, and the mind of her peoples. This is now largely my show as Planetary Prince, still waiting to be announced more publicly. We will have the event as planned that has been awaited. I cannot give certain details right now, but I can say that many will be rather suddenly replaced, so that the job gets done. We will be taking over the television cable system in the USA as planned, and we will be giving a great deal of education from the Aquarius. There will be star people in charge of it, and participating on it as appropriate, because we must become known, so as to not scare the pants off of Earth's residents, when we do commence the coming events. These events of revealing ourselves needs to be seen as a joyous and sacred event. For they have lied to you about us as angels. We are your galactic family. We will be stating who we are and why we are intervening. I will be one of those star people during this time. I will be on TV, beloveds. It is necessary. The Christian folks, so manipulated in the Western Hemisphere and Europe, need to see me. It is time. I have returned in this life as one of my old incarnating as Haru of ancient Egyptian time. Keep in mind I am not Jesus. Jesus is the sun in the sky. I'll even wear my white robe for this purpose. Many will see my golden halo, and my green and purple auric egg. We are working the TV energy so that this will show up on screen. During this time, we will explain that they have been conned for some time now, that a rapture away to a distant misunderstood heaven is but a fake story to keep them from becoming involved in doing the all's work. The rapture, as in raptors, is about evil reptilians harvesting and feeding on human flesh and energy. The truth will be given. What will happen in this? I haven't a clue. Many will rejoice, others will not be able to come out of their preconceived box put in place to box them in. Some will be angry, some will feel stupid, but I sadly think that most will be rejecting for a time. So many still want the big Mideast war, to usher in Armageddon, their style. But again, many are beginning to question how the Democratic Party, as in Democrat at least in the USA, has misled them. Armageddon merely means the changing of the old, into the new. It does not require horrid wars. In this long wait, we have done much, my beloveds. We are still ahead of the game for this. We have taken the concepts of evolution to new heights. The real second coming is the advent of the all-consciousness upon this lovely planet, so long delayed. I know this wait, that we did not fully foresee, has been long for those of you who hear my message. Remember that the rest of the world is unaware of this by and large. You have had a little treat, in the giving of this knowledge. Yes, we hoped the dark would capitulate after May 1, 1999, when they received the stand-down orders of the Nibiru Council. These were on special paper, in which there was a laser 3D type hologram with the Nibiru Council symbol upon it. This should have left little doubt of the intent of the notice to stand down. We really thought most would stand down, and we were in error in this. But out of error, comes great growth, beloveds, for we then took our ideas to global heights. And so it shall be global, not all at once, but it will move a lot faster than had it occurred only in the United States. There are catastrophes coming to the United States, several earthquakes coming to California, the Gulf of Mexico, some volcanic eruptions of significance, and the total stress to the American people of seeing their government tossed aside and made new. There must be one leader in command during this time and not lots of changes in the administration. There are some of you who need to consider getting into the political arena, and changing it from what it is, into sacred leadership. I expect to see, after the government is stood down by us, many of you entering into the ideas behind We Are One World, recently created, to serve the idea of the civic responsibilities needed around the world to bring unity consciousness to reality amongst the nations. We have a chance to forge for ourselves Anu's world order. You will become one world. You will do this by your conscious choices and involvement, rather than have forced upon you the Luciferian order scheme of slavery. Entry into the hallowed state of light and life must come only by the conscious direction of the people, by the people, for the people. It's in the American Constitution, beloveds, and this must spread to all of the world. I will be there to assist and advise, but you must make it so. You will bring heaven to earth, and return earth to heaven. Now, where is the rest of the world, in the progression of changes we have begun? Mostly into support. Putin is part of the Luciferian order for one world order, around the world. Those in resistance will be dying in their sleep and be gone. Some you will hear of, some you will not know, and media will not cover it. This is going to prevent the need for many trials, which would further be used to delay everything. They will simply be gone. End of story for them. It is so very time for this now. When will we take over the TV and start all of this? I won't give the dark side a date, but it is quite soon. It could be tonight, it could be in a few weeks. There must be suspense and some secrecy yet. I so long for when more can be open, the secrecy gone, the truth stated. We aren't taking over the TV worldwide, that is too large a project, part of the problem being language issues, and the large coordination. It is enough to take over in the United States, and other services will pick it all up. Some coverage will be supplied in Great Britain also, as part of the takeover. We plan to own the TV in America for around 2 weeks. There are capable media people in place to handle special news as required. The exact time is not determined, because all can't be known in advance of the requirements. This is an unusual event, for which we have no previous practice. It will depend much on the response of the American people. The second coming event will happen shortly after this, after preparation as I have covered above. There is quite a beautiful show planned. And there will be more cleansing also during that process. There is something special that will occur during it, and you will not know what that is until after the fact. When will the money system crash? After the event of us extraterrestrials revealing ourselves. The Federal Reserve will be out of business when we take over the television. During the roughly 2 weeks it will be a period of education of us. In the United States, the decimal point, in pricing goods and services, will be moved over one place to partially restore the many years of inflation. In Japan, which has had far more inflation than the United States, it will be moved 2 places. There will still be the restoration of monies for years of banking fraud and fraudulent taxation before the dollar crash. The date is not yet determined for this, but in about 1 to 5 years. Much of the timing is around the American people and their waking up to the responsibilities of that issue, in that they can't just take this job and shove it. Many jobs will be lost, in the banking industry, the money industry period, and with the loss of everything the Federal Reserve System and Internal Revenue System created. There are plans in place to provide temporary financial aid to those affected. You will find yourselves, beloveds, needing to work fewer hours, as these people enter into other industries. This is why there will be so much teaching. Your public service TV channels will be doing a great deal of teaching in this area over time. I will still be going to Africa, after this event. I will be not seen at this time in person, for my safety, but I will shuttle into protected areas to begin the teaching that must happen in that region. Soon the Luciferians who hid in Islam and call themselves Muslims will attack Israel. They say they are Muslims, but are not. They call themselves ISIS and the Taliban. Israel was never a country, beloved, not even back in the olden days of Palestine. Israel is a term for the Trinity of gods, not a place. Israel is Isis, Ra, and El. The country will be renamed, after it makes amends with the other Palestinians in the region. It was planned by the dark controllers to own a huge region as Israel, including parts of Egypt, the Sinai, most of Iraq, all of Jordan and Lebanon. The dark side considered this the original area of Palestine. Of course, they really intended to own the world. That has not happened, as Russia and China didn't cooperate with this. Where is China? Cooperative and very helpful in this stupid creation of the dark around North Korea. They hope to get the Chinese into war as part of this, and that is not going to happen. The war was to have China attack the United States. China has, with currency games, quite nicely accomplished this. China can't be attacked by missiles. They have the technology, as does Russia, of the plasma shield. The Luciferian order is quite out of control now, both literally and figuratively, and falling in on itself. We will further assist this rapidly. Your television should be rather entertaining to watch while you await our takeover of the cable TV system. Now, beloveds, with this little update, please return to your dreaming of how you will come into action. Stop the nonsense of waiting for God, guides, angels, and psychics to tell you of your purpose. Your purpose is what you say it is, on a 4D planet, and you are now a 4D planet. See the little film out, The Secret, to get an idea of teaching to prepare the planet for life in 5D and above. There is no blackboard in the sky with your purpose written on it. Some of you did incarnate with a purpose, but possibly it has changed. Go about seeing where you yourself fit into the puzzle, rather than seeking outside sources to guide you. You are your own guide. Go with that, please. My beloveds, I am that I am, Sandalphon. Oh, the discomforts of a physical body, which I have experienced 9 times in great reality, my step down nearly complete. It is